3, 2, 1. Good morning, Council. So, who had fun yesterday? I did. Who drank too much yesterday? What did the others do? So now you're familiar with the concept of International Night and Mint too. We had 11 bottles and they were gone in like half an hour. So, this day is really important and I hope everybody is energized for it, even though last night was quite tough. And yeah, let's start with my everyday punishment. And this time Esin has been so kind that she will show me how to dance Turkish style. Thank you. So every day you can learn something new, even if you're not so talented. First of all, we have some announcements. Do you also have an announcement?
No, please wait for the microphone.
It's probably not important, but let's take it anyway.
He would like to watch the live stream, so if you could put on the sound of the live stream.
We always have to put it off when we have music because otherwise YouTube will block it in Germany. So it will be on. So announcements. The organizers told me yesterday that they found a phone during the working groups, so if somebody has lost their phone, you should go to the organizers. Do we have any other announcements? Okay, nothing else. Then I will start the day by opening point number 37, quorum of the council and enlistment of the votes by proxy.
Good morning, esteems. How was International Night? Okay, what I would like to ask you again is the delegates stand up first and then the rest can join in. Anybody can join in actually. Local Group Aachen. Thank you. Local Group Ankara Bilkent. Thank you for efficiency. Local Group Ankara Metu. Thank you for efficiency. Local Group Avero. Thank you. Local Group Barcelona. Thank you. Local Group Belgrade. Thank you. Local Group Berlin. Thank you. Local Group Braunschweig. Thank you. Thank you. Local Group Bremen. Thank you. Local Group Brussels. Thank you. Local Group Bucharest. Thank you. A local group Budapest. Thank you. Local group Calabria. Thank you. Local group Cambridge will come during the morning. Still excused. Local group Kios is excused. Local group Coimbra. Thank you. Local group Darmstadt. Thank you. Local group Dortmund. Thank you. Local group Dresden. Thank you. Local group Eindhoven. Thank you. Local group Enschede. Oh, thank you for your efficiency. Local group Famagusta is excused. Local group Gdansk is proxied by Warsaw. And local group Gothenburg. Thank you. Local group Graz. Thank you. Local group Grenoble. Thank you. Local group Groningen. Thank you. Local group Hamburg. Thank you. Local group Helsinki. Thank you. Local group Ilmenau. Thank you for efficiency. Local group Istanbul Borsodi. Local group Istanbul ITU. Istanbul Yildiz. Local group Izmir DEU. Local group Izmir Economy. Thank you. Local group Kaiserslautern. Can Kaiserslautern please wave your hand? Thanks. Local group Karlsruhe. Thank you. Local group Karlstadt. Thank you. Local group Kaunas. Thank you. Local group Kiev. Thank you. Local group Kragujevac is proxied by Novi Sad. Local group Krakow. Thank you. Local group Granje. Thank you. Local group Lappenranta. Thank you. Local group Linköping. Thank you for efficiency. Local group Lisbon. Thank you for efficiency. Local group Luleå. Thank you. Local group Lund. Thank you. Local group Lyon. Awesome. Local group Madrid. Thank you. Local group Milan. Thank you. Local group Minsk. Thank you. Local group Moscow. Local group München. Thank you. Local group Novi Sad. Local group, thank you. Local group Oulu. Thank you. Local group Paderborn. Thank you. Local group Porto. Thank you. Local group Poznan. Can the delegates please spin once? Okay, thanks. Local group Riga. Thank you. Local group St. Petersburg. Thank you. Local group Seville. Thank you. Local group Siegen. Thank you for your efficiency. Local group Skopje. Thank you. Local group Sofia. Thank you for efficiency. Local group Stockholm. Thank you. Local group Tampere. Thank you. Local group Trondheim. Thank you. Local group Vasa. Thank you. Local group Vienna. Thank you. Local group Vilnius. Thank you. Local group Warsaw. Thank you. Local group Xanthi. Thank you. Local Group Zagreb. Thank you. Local Group Zürich is excused. I would like to say hello to our guest local groups. Local Group Baku. Thank you. Local Group Catania. Thank you. Local Group Tallinn. Thank you for efficiency. Local Group Tirgo Mureș. Thank you. Then I would like to say hello to our guests, the representative from BEST. Thank you. I would like to say hello to the guests from Forum 2080. Then I would like to say hello to Virginia Tech students. Thank you. Our guests from VW. And I would like to say hello to our good friend, Professor Jim Platz. Thanks. Two, three. Thank you, Jim. That's a quorum.
Thank you, Tibor. And I would like to give a big round of applause to the Wake Up Committee who has managed to get you all here on time. At least in our room, it wasn't an easy job this morning. Shh. So now, it is time to close agenda point number 37 and open agenda point number 33, applications. Before we start, I would like you to also get up. I've learned a new song this time around in this council meeting. And let's keep it short this time. Sing with me and dance with me. Thank you. And we start with board applicants for the position of VP of Activities.
The microphone is on.
And first up, we have Lassi Uusitalo. And ten minutes. Stage is yours.
Good morning, STEAmers, my friends, associates, and old people who are awesome and made it to the GA room this morning. My name is Lassi Uusitalo. I come from LG Lappeenranta, Madrid, and I am standing in front of you to present my application for the position of Vice President of Activities 2015. What I'm going to talk about, first of all, who I am, what is my background in STEAM, what are my goals, and finally, why I deserve your votes. So first, who is Lassi Uusitalo? I'm a 24-year-old student from Lappeenranta University of Technology, one of our partner universities. I am currently studying my 5th year. My background is that I have lived abroad for approximately 10 years. I was raised in Belgium. I lived pretty much my childhood in the Flemish part of Belgium, in a small town called Overijs. And I spent there about 7 years, more or less. I have also spent 1 year in Fuengirola in southern Spain. So I spent my skip year, and I was also an Erasmus student in the past year in Madrid. My student background is before STEAM. I used to be in the board of ESTIEM Lappeenranta, the local board, as a vice president and other stuff, event management and so on. And also I was the part of the student union council. And I'm always on the move. What I mean by this, that I always have a plan. There is not a single moment when I am not doing something or planning to do something. How my STEAM story began? I joined STEAM back when I was a freshman in 2010 in September, and I attended my first event already in October. It was in Belgrade. It was an activity week, Serbian seduction. Very fun event, I can tell you. Then I attended some other events. I went to a local group exchange in Madrid. You can take a wild guess why I spent my Erasmus there. And because I was in Madrid, I heard about this council meeting in Portugal. And I thought that, hey, it's pretty close, it's pretty cheap, so why not? So I joined it. I was determined to deliver a training there. And that's where it all began. So far, I have attended about 20 events, about 15 in the past year. Most of them, as you can see, are work hard events, so council meetings, College Porto this August, also coordination meetings and recoms. What is important to know about me, I am a trainer in STEAM. I have attended trainers on tour twice in Italy, local groups L'Aquila, Calabria, St. Petersburg, Moscow, Minsk. I have also delivered training in Madrid and also the Nordic Recom. And so far, I have around 60 hours of trainings on my belt. I have delivered on such topics as fundraising, intercultural awareness, STEAM spirit, and so on. And also, I am the father of the idea for the regional benchmark forum. We're going to have a working group on it later today. So on. My central level activity. My first love in STEAM was Europe 3D. I became the events team leader and also the academic. At the same time, I had a mistress called Training Committee. There I'm the regional benchmark forum coordinator and also kind of an all-around guy and a storyteller. I always have a random story on demand. Some flings with Knowledge Management Committee, Brain Trainer, Academic Days, and magazine and the book. And also, I was facilitating 2 working groups in Istanbul and 1 over here. Also, what you should note, I am a pretty loud person. I bet that I am louder than you are combined. Should we find out? Yes. All right. So please stand up. We're going to do a super quick haka. Are you ready? Okay, I was wrong. I'm not louder than 250 people. So, now that we have talked about what is my background, who I am, let's talk about future and dreams. For me, becoming a trainer in ESTIEM is something that has given me great value in life, sharing my knowledge to others and learning at the same time. I came across this quote this summer. The greatest goal a man can have in his life is to help others grow to their full potential. What this means is that you share your knowledge to help others learn. My personal experience is that the more knowledge I share, the more I learn myself. So the more you give out, the more you gain back. And this is a philosophy I want to spread all around ESTIEM. I believe in an organization where its members think not only myself from being in this organization, but also what can others learn from me? What can I give out to others in terms of knowledge, and what can I learn myself? My thoughts about ESTIEM in the current situation is that I believe that the ESTIEM's biggest resource is its members, their members' knowledge and experience. Also, at the same time, we are in a situation that there's a gap of awareness of what ESTIEM has to offer depending on different cities, and therefore bit of a struggle in terms of recruitment and motivation and so on. Many people say that this is a weakness of ESTIEM, but I think this is an opportunity. How do we and by opportunity, I mean there is something great to be achieved which has not been done so far, so much at least. My goals, how are we gonna build ESTIEM spirit, is first of all, events, keep them high quality, keep them in a balanced way, in a timely manner, and we have enough at certain time period, and not too little, not too much. At the same time, we should have regional cooperation so that local groups plan together what to do and how they can maybe help each other out in different areas. And related to this, proactive knowledge exchange, meaning that experienced people will come to less experienced people to teach them how they do what they do the best. Events. I want to focus on having a balanced schedule, so we have not too few, not too many events at a certain time period. There should not be period of time when there is nothing happening at all. At the same time, we keep the events high quality. They're documented really well, so future organizers know how to do the events the way the well-known events have done it so far. And of course, avoid unnecessary overlap. Regional cooperation, I want to see more joint events, meaning 2 local groups or 3 local groups organizing Vision, Euro 3D, whatnot. I have heard from many people that the events which have been in 2 local groups have been much better because you see more, you experience more, and also I believe that this gives kind of a flexibility to organizing for the smaller local groups. Also, I want to implement a regional benchmark forum. As I mentioned, there's a working group later on today. You're more than welcome to join. And I will want to do something about the regional coordination meetings. At least in some regions, it's not as efficient as it could be. One idea I have is to make it a local group requirement that a local group needs to attend a regional coordination meeting at least once a year. So send someone. You can ask me later about it more. proactive knowledge sharing, promote trainers on tour, get active ex-teamers to become trainers and deliver trainings in nearby local groups, and regional best practice distribution, which means get the best practices in the region, get them together, spread around, ask again later. Now, why should I be chosen? First of all, I have the relevant experience to support local groups. I have a positive outlook on my life. I am reliable, I am energetic, active, I always have something to contribute. I'm a huge advocate of personal development, and not only developing yourself, but being facilitator of others. And enthusiasm. What is...
Time.
Can I have just a few, like 2 sentences?
No. Sorry. It has to be fair. Thank
Being
you a
an
lot.
esteemer is my passion. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Lassi, and I'm sorry, but it has to be fair for everybody. Thanks for the presentation, and next up we have Mark Smolier.
Good morning, esteemers. I'm very happy to be able to speak to you right now. Not even 2 years ago, I had no idea what ESTIEM is all about. Now I'm standing here right in front of you, and it feels amazing. So let me tell you a little story how I came from 1 free beer to applying for Vice President of Activities 2015. So first of all, who am I? My name is Mark Smolier. I'm from local group Aachen. I'm 24 years old, and I'm currently in the 4th year of my bachelor studies. As all active esteemers, I would consider traveling as one of my hobbies. I also enjoy a lot playing guitar and doing some sports. Because those 3 activities are rather energy consuming, I also like to eat a lot. Some fun facts about me. There's one particular question I get asked a lot from people. Do you actually study? Well, let me show you a picture of one of my lectures. I know how my university looks like from the inside. By the way, I'm one of the guys in the front who is trying to recruit some people for my local group. Well, how did it all start? As I already told you, it was back in October 2012 when one of my friends invited me to the newbie evening in my local group by offering me some free beer. I came and I was fascinated right from the beginning. After getting active on the local level, in March 2014 I finally went on my first ESTIEM event, the KMC Coming Dunks. It's thanks to the awesome people I met there that I'm now standing here. They got me really motivated, and I keep on traveling and becoming financial level in the knowledge management committee, the training committee, the ESTIEM book project, and the language program initiative. In November 2013, I went on my first council meeting, and it was there while I was watching the board applications when I decided that next year I want to be one of the guys standing here in front of you. So now I'm here, and what have I done in the year before I'm applying? Well, I joined a Training to Trainers event in December 2013, right after the council meeting, and also became more active level in the members committee, the Times Project, and Europe 3D. All in all, I attended 18 events in my first 9 months of ESTIEM, and I really got quite a good overview of it. In 2014, I wanted to have some more responsibilities, therefore I was working as the Northwest Regional Coordinator, the BPD Task Group Leader, and I was also an active trainer. In a nutshell, I can sum up my ESTIEM life as attending 32 events, including the last 3 council meetings, 14 coordination meetings. I've been active in 7 projects, committees, and initiatives. I had 2 positions, and overall I shared my knowledge and experience in around 50 hours of training sessions. I think all this combined makes me now ready to apply for the Vice President of Activities. Well, let me talk about what you can expect from me in the next year. Let's start with our events. In terms of distribution, good work which has been done so far by including as many local groups as possible. However, I would like to make our coordination meetings in locations which are easy to reach for everyone, because I think this is quite an important fact in recruitment for ESTIEM. Also, I want to promote the opportunities of joint coordination meeting to promote the matrix organization of our matrix structure of our organization. In terms of selection of our events, I want to investigate if we can improve the way we are selecting our events currently, and also I want to follow up on local groups which have been rejected to organize an events by trying to give them other opportunities and not lose their motivation. And to increase the quality of our events, I want to implement feedback form for organizers so that we also can measure how good the support from central level was, and therefore increase the quality of our projects and events overall. Well, in order to organize events, we need our local groups, so let's talk about this now. And in this field, I want to focus more on the regional development. by strengthening the C position and including more in central level decision making. This way they have a better overview of what's going on and can also bring in the ideas of the local levels. To release them from the task of supporting too many local groups at the same time, I want to implement a mentoring system where experienced local groups would mentor guests and observers and also inactive local groups. I want to try out that all RCs have some common goals for their regions aligned with the goals of their STEAM board. And I also want to increase our region, to improve our regional events by aligning them with the needs the regions have. Also, I want to implement a regional working group at every council meeting that regions could meet and discuss the strategy for the upcoming time. And I want to investigate further if we need a new regional division or if we are fine as we are currently. Also, in terms of support for local groups, I want to collect knowledge from local organizers and share it with all esteemers and improve the way we are using our BPDs. Well, we talked about local groups, but our local groups would be nothing without our people. So this is the third point. What can we do here? As we heard previously, HR management is one of the focus points of the strategic plan of ESTIEM. My idea for this is to implement an HR position in all project committees and initiatives. Those people would help guiding new people on the way on becoming active and also release the leader from this task. And on the other hand, they could also do some active recruitment. And with all this new so develop our HR task group further by creating a strategy for all esteemers. About recruitment, I want to engage the RCs more in this task, and I also want that leaders of project and committees are more involved in the task of recruiting from local levels by providing informations that local responsibles can use in order to inform their LG properly about what's going on central level. It could be ready-to-use presentations or videos, for example. And as trainings is really important for the development of esteemers, I want to also work further in this field by mainly improving our training materials database and creating guidelines for common esteem topics that we would provide a better start for new trainers. Well, we talked about events, about local groups, and about people. What is the thing which is connecting all of this? It's the unique esteem spirit we have. Well, we all know that to really taste the esteem spirit, you have to attend an event. But we are facing the problems that many people are afraid to go to the first esteem event. So what can we do in order to bring them a little piece of this esteem spirit we have? Well, some ideas I have for this is bringing back the video updates from the board we used to have in 2014, as it was quite a good idea to connect the board with the local groups. Also, I want to try out making some LG competitions, for example, which local group can perform the most interesting hacker and reward them for this, for example, with activity points. And, well, ESTIEM is a lot about singing, but if you've never been on an ESTIEM event, you don't know how all these songs work. So why don't we record the songs we are singing on all events and make them available on the portal? This way we would bring the ESTIEM culture closer to the local groups. Well, to sum it all up, I want to work on our events by focusing on distribution, selection, and the quality, on the local groups by developing the regional concept and the support for them, and also about the people by focusing on the HR management, the recruitment, and our trainings. And there's one more thing. It's a rather personal goal for me. As we all know, VP of Activities is assumed with a lot of traveling. As I already have quite some travels, but I'm not really on the top yet. I want to achieve this. Getting more events than Greg O'Hare and Mark Steinmetz, the previous VP of Activities from 2011 and 2012. I have 29 events to go, and we'll see where this travel will end. So, why should you vote for me? I'm motivated. I know how to work hard, how to play hard, and also how to sleep hard because, well, esteemers need sleep, and you don't get that much of it. I'm dedicated and energetic. Sometimes a little bit retarded, but always helpful. And I'm addicted to ESTIEM, and always with a friendly smile on my face. So, ESTIEMers, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Climb up Sunshine Mountain, where the breezes go. Climb up Sunshine Mountain, faces all aglow. Louder! Turn your back on sorrow, look up to the sky. Climb up Sunshine Mountain. thank you for your attention, and I'm your questions.
Thank you, Mark. Now the next question is, does anybody else want to apply for VP of Activities for the next year? Okay, since there's nobody else, I would like to invite the two applicants to the stage, and we have time for questions. So, thumbs up. Shh. And do we have somebody to take the microphone?
Run with the microphone.
Thank you. Let's start from the front. Let's take one question from here, all the way from the front, and then these two in the middle.
Pekka from Oulu and Porto. So, a question for both of you. How much are you going to study during next year if you get elected?
Well, we all know that studying is quite difficult with ESTIEM events. Since I'm almost more or less at the end of my studies, I would try to finish some exams I have left, which are in February or March, if I have time for it or not. Afterwards, the only thing which is left in my studies are my bachelor thesis, and I would wait with that until the board year is over.
I'm at the end of my bachelor studies. I am missing like 2 courses anymore, which I need to pass. And once I pass them, I will graduate as bachelor, so I can take a year off.
Thanks a lot. And then we take the question from the middle.
Max from Dresden. I have a question to Mark. You said you would like to reevaluate the regions. So do you actually think about changing the regions again? Because actually most of them have built up an identity. So what do you think about it?
Well, we were investigating it in the members committee this year, and the problem is that we are just running out of places in the regions. I don't say necessarily that we have to change something, but we have to investigate further if the current division is aligned with the aim we actually want to achieve with the regions. So I cannot yet say for sure if I want to change them or not, but of course I will try to keep the regions which are happy the way.
Thank you. And then there was the next one that I promised from the middle.
Hi, it's Bart from LT Groningen. I have a question for both of you. You both talked about that you want to improve the regions and you have goals for it, but what do you really want to achieve with it? What do you think what is good for?
Well, I think regions are a really great opportunity to close better the gap between central and local level, because as we see in the council meeting, for example, a lot of people are coming here without even knowing what central ESTIEM is all about. So regions could be a really great way to bring this information closer to the people.
Can you briefly restate your question? I didn't quite understand.
Yeah, what do you want to achieve with the regions? Like, what's the purpose of it?
Thank you. The purpose of the regions for me is to get local groups together to do something, some activities together, and just make relationships with people who are not from your university. So it's all about networking in a little more, not in such a big scale, because I currently see that there's like people, they either get involved only very locally, so only in their city, and then internationally, which means that they will just fly far away all the time. And regions is something in between, so you can be active regionally, and like you don't the threshold of doing something in your own country, let's say, is a lot lower than going international right away.
Thanks a lot. Please try to keep the answers also short. And we have taken now 3 questions, and we have needed 3.5 minutes for that, so we can take only 4 questions more. I will take the one from Lund, and then we take Alina and Gregor, the ex-VP of Activities, and then the live stream. So, please.
I'm Alex from Local Group Lund. As a large organization, we should be pioneering in social issues. The other day I heard a comment about how a girl could walk up on stage, take her pants off, and get elected from pretty much any position. We also saw how in Estonia, all of the girls look like models, so we should invite them to ESTIEM. When you say that you want to help people reach their true potential, how are you going to treat the sexism that's apparently rampant in the organization?
Did I understand correctly that how do I deal with sexism?
How would you help the organization deal with sexism issues?
I believe this is a rather societal issue, and I believe ESTIEMers are smart enough not to do sexism. If it does exist, I don't know what concrete things I would do, but it's rather a social norm issue.
Which we can change as an organization.
No discussion, please. Just an answer. Quickly, please, Mark.
Well, I don't see this currently as a treat, but we have the social and environmental responsibilities, so if it's really a big problem, they could investigate in this task. Other than that, I cannot say anything about that right now.
Thank you. Now, Alina. And please be quick, we only have 2 more minutes. And we have the discussion session, so don't worry, you will get your
First,
questions.
I'm very proud that you applied both from TC. My question is, what happens if you're not elected?
Very good question. Well, I cannot yet say for sure what happens if I'm not elected, because, well, it's of course demotivating, and maybe I would try to focus more on my studies afterwards. But it could also just happen that after 1 day of being sad, I would just try to get another position in this team. I have a lot of opportunities, so.
It's rather common knowledge that my values are self-development and so on, and developing others, I probably will take over TC if I'm not elected.
Thank you. And then we had Gregor's question.
Hello, Gregor, Board 2012. First of all, I want to state thanks for your great application. I think you both are really good candidates. And my question is actually, we have something called the activity report, which shows some figures about your work and about how ESTIEM is developing in general. So I just want to know, which figure do you think demonstrates the most that you did actually a good job, and how you're going to work on that in order to increase a good outcome on that figure?
I would say individual travelers is the best indicator of how active the organization is currently. How to improve that? Well, the regional cooperation, and I will come up with ideas.
Well, in my opinion, I think the central activity level is more important than the travelings, because there are always cases where just some people are traveling and never doing anything. And, well, to improve it, I already introduced my ideas about the HR development, so I think this would try to solve this.
Thank you. And a quick more question from live stream. That's the last one.
Natalia Matykovska from Warsaw. To both, what is your opinion about versus working in your board year? How do you want to maintain a good level of work with the amount of travel you plan?
Well, I think I have proven that I can work quite a lot despite going on like something like 20 events in 1 year. And since during the board year I will dedicate my full attention to ESTIEM and not do anything else besides, I don't think that this will be a big problem.
I have also traveled quite a lot, not as much as Mark has, and I work a lot for Central ESTIEM. So I think I currently have a very good balance with it, and I don't think I will have a problem finding time for work while traveling.
Thanks a lot. I'm really sorry that we cannot take all the questions, but I'm happy to see so many, and we will have them in the discussion session. So thanks a lot, guys. Next up, we have applicants for VP of Administration and Louise Berglund.
So, hello everyone. I know you've seen me up here a couple of times, but this time it's a little bit more nervousing for me, so let's see how it goes. So, in April 2012, I embarked on a quite exciting journey. My local group was organizing the Times Final, and although I was not super aware of what exactly Times and ESTIEM was, I was still really curious to know more about this organization and meet all the international people coming to my city. And I was really amazed by the atmosphere of the people because there was so many active esteemers present, so they just spread their esteem spirit to me, and I just knew that I needed to find out more. And somehow the journey has led me here, and I'm now happy to say that I am applying to be the Vice President of Administration in the 25th Board of ESTIEM. So what am I going to talk about? Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and my background and my goals for what I want to do next year, and then just sort of sum it up, and it's the end. So firstly, I sort of noticed that some people don't really know how to pronounce my name. I'm not sure why it is, but here's the thing. This is how you spell my name. This is the German version of my name, but it's not pronounced the same. This is the French version, and as I said, this is the German version. And well, my name is pronounced the French way, so Louise, not Louise, so Louise. So, next up. Well, I'm 22 years old, and I come from Stockholm, but I'm also a happy guest member of local group Munich. I'm currently doing my master's studies at KTH, although my bachelor is not fully complete, and I will also continue studying during the board year next year. I'm also kind of multilingual. Well, as a Swedish person, I of course speak Swedish, and as you obviously hear, I also speak English. But I also know quite some French from my French profile high school, and I was on Erasmus in Munich, so I know a little bit of German. So I can, without any shame, say that I'm a huge Eurovision Song Contest fan, and I'm also very much into sports, and especially football. And and I also really like to cook. So, my ESTIEM suitcase. What did I fill my suitcase with to embark on this journey? Well, I started being in the local board in 2012, 2013. And at the same time, I was very, very active in Times. And I've had various responsibilities, such as IT responsible. And I also became regional coordinator for the Awesome Nordics in the end of 2012. And during the year, I also got active in the ITC, so I learned quite some webmastering, which I will find very useful for next year. And at the end of 2013, I was also appointed the members committee leader. And I was also named Esteemer of the Year 2013, thanks to my activities in a lot of different projects and committees, but also from a lot of traveling. And until today, I've been to 27 events, including 6 council meetings, 2 colleges, and numerous of coordination meetings. And yeah, I was also a little bit envisioned KMC and PRC. So I hope you all feel I fill my luggage with enough experience to embark on the journey to be the Vice President of Administration. So what about my goals? Well, I want to ensure a continuity of the portal. I want to work on the council meeting and also the communication in ESTIEM. So, well, what would we be without our portal? I mean, sending letters by post? Nah. So we need the ITC, we need a motivated team, and we need a lot of members. So during this year, the ITC has really gone further. It's now consisting of a team with a lot of motivated members, and the future looks really promising, so I want to keep on working on this as well. And you know what? Sharing is caring. And we have a lot of experienced IT guys from previous years, and we need their knowledge. So I want to ensure that they are sharing their knowledge with the new generation, so we can ensure a continuity of the portal, and also that, yeah, our new members know everything they need to know. And I don't know about you guys, but whenever I see a portal page that's not up to date, I get a little bit annoyed. So I want to make sure that all the portal pages are always up to date. So I want to keep a track of the pages and see, okay, who's responsible for this. And I also want to offer leaders and task group leaders some webmastering lessons so they actually know how to update their page, because if you don't know how, well, then it's kind of hard. So the external page. So how many of you think this page is nice but would like to see it a bit more modern? Raise your hand. Yeah, me too. So during next year, I want to keep on working on creating a new design for this page. I know it's already being initiated, but yeah, I really want to kick it off for next year. So next is the council meeting, like we are here. So firstly, I want to improve the General Assembly. I want to look into, okay, what points do we have in the General Assembly? What should be there? What should not be there? Also, in a couple of weeks ago, I was in Belgrade, and I joined the EFISO meeting for just one day, and I really could see the differences between the GAs of different organizations. So I think with a little bit of benchmarking, we can really improve our own General Assembly. And I also would like to improve the concept of the ESTIEM Fair, because right now it's just all about the working groups. But I think the ESTIEM Fair is a really good place for people to get to know more about projects, committees, initiatives, what is going on. They can ask questions that they were not able to ask in the General Assembly. But as you can see, this can be quite a lot of effort. So I also want to work with people in order to ensure that the council meeting is being improved. Next is the communication with the organizers. I need to make sure that there's a balance from the wishes from the organizer side, but also from the central level side. And also support them with any organizational matters. I mean, I have 6 council meetings, but yeah, I'm quite sure this is going to be a lot more difficult than I think. And well, I also can work quite well with past council meeting organizers, as you can see here. And the next part is the anniversary of ESTIEM. As you all know, ESTIEM turns 25 years next year, and I want to have some day activities such as an ESTIEM museum so people can learn more about the local groups, for example, and also, of course, a nice birthday party. So the last part is the communication. I want to ensure that STEAMers get continuous updates of what is going on central level. So, for example, in 2013, the board had videos, and I really like this idea. So I would love to see that happen next year after board meetings and maybe even monthly videos. And also, I would love to see some newsletters from the leaders so they can provide some updates on what they've been working on in the past time. And during my time as MC leader, I also tried using the forum a couple of times for increasing awareness of what was going on in the committee and also give people the possibility to ask questions and feedback on what we were doing. And I would think that this would be great to see more in this team. And I also want to keep on working on our matrix structure with communication between the leaders and increase the awareness. And just a small point regarding externals, I would love to see a section on the external page where we can post news items and giving other people, externals, insights on what's going on in ESTIEM right now. So yeah, that was the main things I want to work on next year. So continuity of the portal, the council meeting improvements, and the communication. So to conclude, I'm really motivated to do this. And I'm also really, really committed to do this, and whenever when I go for something, I want to succeed, and I know that I can succeed in this. And I'm also really, really experienced. I've been active in this organization for 2.5 years, and I've been to several different kinds of events. I've been active in not all the project committee initiatives, but pretty much many of them. So I know this organization, I can easily say that. And I also really love this organization. ESTIEM has given me a lot, both in friendships that I know I will have for life, and also in personal development. So this would be my final thank you to ESTIEM. And just to end with a sort of someone who once was a future teller. Once upon a time in a small town in Germany called Karlsruhe, I was sitting one night talking to this guy who was a VP of admin at the time. And we were just talking a little bit, and I was telling what I was working on at the moment. And at some point, he just said, you know what? You're going to be the VP of admin in 2 or 3 years. And well, now it's all up to you to decide if he's right, but I would say that I would like him to be right. So thank you very much, and I will gladly answer your questions.
Thank you a lot, Louise. No, sorry, Louise. Anybody else willing to apply for VP of Administration? No, okay. In case not, then we will go on to questions. And again, we have a couple of minutes. Probably cannot take all of the questions, but as many as possible. Again, let's start with you, and I will make a list and tell you soon who will get to ask a question.
Okay, hi there. I'm Alex from LG Bucharest. My question for you is, what made you consider changing the structure of the General Assembly? what exactly you saw in the General Assembly and considered it could be improved?
Well, I think one of the main problems right now is that sometimes we have sessions that I don't think is appropriate for the council meeting. I mean, in the past council meeting, there was, for example, a lot of company presentations, and there's nothing wrong with having company presentations, but when they are too long, I think it's not really fitting for the council meeting. And also, for example, we had a panel discussion about education, and I'm really support the education initiative, but I don't know if the council meeting is the perfect place to do this. I think it's more important to dedicate time for ESTIEM.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks a lot. Next we take the question from Vienna, and then after that Belgrade. And the rest will come soon.
LG Vienna, Felix. You said you are going to study in the third year, so do you will have enough time? And further, are you going to stop if you don't have time for your studies anymore?
Yeah, the main thing with my studies is that in Sweden, in order for me to get money, because I don't have my financial stability myself to take a year off, I need to study because that's how I get my money. So I need to study. And I will take the minimum amount that gives me enough money so I can manage during the year. So it will be, per semester, it will be around 20 credits. But in Sweden, most lectures are not mandatory, so I don't have to be there. And yeah, I've been doing this for 2.5 years, and I'm very confident that I can do it. And I can tell you all that I would not stand here if I didn't consider it feasible to do it at all.
Thanks a lot. So next up, Belgrade. Take one from all the way, so the one on the right, yeah. Yeah, exactly, the guy who's waving. Then we take one from all the way in the back, in the middle. And then we take Krasimira, one from Eindhoven, and then the live stream, and that's it, sorry.
Okay, Marco, local group Belgrade. If you are as motivated as a specific position, and if you had this thought in your head since Karlsruhe from who knows when, why didn't you apply earlier?
Okay, I didn't have this thought in 2012, that was someone else. And well, I can say that if this position and another position was two positions I was thinking about, but I can easily see that I had some problems deciding which position I wanted to go for. I knew I was motivated to do the work for the board, but I personally had some hard time deciding which position I wanted to go for. But in the end, I decided that I want to work in an amazing team, and all the people who are sitting here are amazing people. And I also wanted a challenge, because this is something new for me, and it's also going to motivate me a lot. So that's why I decided now to do this.
Thanks a lot. And if I've given you the word, please stand up so that the organizers know where to bring the microphone, please. So get up, whoever got the word already. So yeah, you in the middle, in the back, and Krasimira and Tom from Eindhoven, and then the live stream has one more.
Hi, I'm Sezin from Istanbul, Boğaziçi. A while ago, I guess last year, there was a portal design competition, as far as I know. It wasn't ended successfully. So what's your plan for this year, and do you have any concentrate plan?
For the external page?
Sorry?
For the external page?
For the portal design, like the external page, yeah.
Okay, I mean, the only thing for now that I've thought about for portal design is improving the external page, because I think for now that's the most important thing. And yeah, I know there's being work done so far, and I will firstly get a bit more insights on exactly what's being done, and then in cooperation with PRC and ITC, make a plan for exactly how long it will take to improve it, and also how it should be done, which steps do we need to do.
Thank you. Like I said, please stand up if I've given you the word so that the organizers know where to come with the microphone. Tom as well, get up.
Krasimira from local group Sofia. You said that you want to improve the council meetings quality. And my question is, do you think an improvement could be to reduce the alcohol drinking promotion?
Yeah, as any other ESTIEM, I like to party, and I love all of you guys. But one thing that I think should be improved is the way we schedule the evening activities. For example, during this event, we have evening activities scheduled until 2:30, and people will be back at the hostel at 3, and then they have to wake up at 6 or 7. I don't think this is a very good approach, but instead shorten the time that's scheduled, because then people might actually think, okay, wait, we're partying until this time and then we go home. Regarding the alcohol consumption, well, I mean, for me, it's natural that I make sure that I can drink enough so I'm still fit to be here the next morning, but I can't control all of you. I can just say that please, you know your limits, and please stick to your limits so you can come here the next morning.
Thank you. Please keep it short, we don't have much time.
Tom Eindhoven, you mentioned improving the GAs. There has been a lot of discussion about it, also in the forum. There was a suggestion on the forum to implement a task force for that. Do you want to implement that, and if so, when?
Yes, I said so in my presentation that I wanted to do it, and I would probably do it, in the beginning of next year in January.
Thank you. Now live stream, quick question, and then we're done.
Question from I'm Not Harold, Local Group Board 2010. What elements from general assemblies from other organizations did you notice at the IFISO meeting which you think would be interesting to our council meetings?
Well, I didn't have so much time to actually discuss with people, but I just know that in general especially the size is very different, and if you have different sizes, I also think that you sort of have to deal with everything in a different way. So at the moment, I can't say any specific things. I need to look into it a little bit more. That's pretty much it.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Luis. Next up, we have the applicants for the position of Vice President of Education. And I would like to ask Michael Maluta to the stage.
It's on. Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Misha. I'm from local group Moscow and Lappeenranta, and I'm applying for the position of Vice President of Education. Oh, it's the same hard as before. You have seen me presenting already, and I've been presenting for like 3 times already, and it is not easier every next time, I have to tell you. Okay, couple words about me. So, I'm 22 years old. Currently, I'm doing my exchange semester in Lappeenranta University of Technology, and my current position in ESTIEM is project leader of academic days. And now I'm an intern. I have done half a year, and half a year is ahead. So, a little bit about my ESTIEM background, what did I come through to be there and to apply. So, I joined ESTIEM in autumn 2011, one of the best things which happened to me. And my first ESTIEM event was Innovation Days in Lappeenranta. Probably it influenced a lot that now I do my exchange semester there. My next big ESTIEM event, which influenced me a lot, was my first summer academy in Riga. And then my first event where I got in touch with a central ESTIEM was Academic Days Com in Lyon. And a couple months after that, I got so excited about Central ESTIEM and Academic Days that after a couple months, I already applied for the project leadership position for Academic Days. I didn't get elected, and I'm actually quite happy that I didn't get elected. Because the year which I had between that moment and between the time when I got elected, I used it very nicely, and I believe that I developed a lot during this year. What helped me to develop is Summer Academy in Vilnius with Jim Platz. Thank you very much, Jim. And during that time, I had a little bit longer than half a year of being local responsible in Moscow, and this was my first leadership experience in ESTIEM. And then I got elected after my second application for Academic Days. So yeah, now I'm doing it. So you may wonder what will happen with Academic Days if I got elected for Vice President of Education. Obvious question. So after this council meeting, board will appoint new project leader for Academic Days. And I will become board responsible for Academic Days for sure, because this is a project I care the most now. It doesn't mean that I don't care about other things. Don't get me wrong. Okay, if I don't get elected, I just stay as Academic Days project leader. I finish my term in spring, and new project leader for Academic Days will come up in spring. Yeah, by the way, to get back, I already know that there are some people in Academic Days team who are considering to apply for project leader of Academic Days if I get elected. so it won't be an empty spot for sure. So how I see the field of education in ESTIEM. I think these three areas explain it quite well. These are academic partnership of ESTIEM, our academic activities, and IEM education and our influence in it. And I believe that being a boardie, you need strategic approach to do this thing. You are not doing operational things, you think about the future. So why do I apply? I try to analyze myself a little bit. I'm not this structured in my mind, but yeah, these are the reasons I found why I apply. So I want to develop ESTIEM a lot. I'm really ready to dedicate the whole year and to do it. And another thing is that I really love our volunteering spirit. Most of you didn't sleep longer than 4 hours, but all of us are here. This is the spirit. That's why I love people of ESTIEM. We have real inner motivation. I believe that I have enough experience to become boardie and to do a great job. And I'm actually very motivated to have a year on the road. You might know that boardies spend a bit like a half of the year on the road, and it's quite exciting. And so what I think is the most important in the position of the boardie is that boardies are the people who ESTIEMers are looking up on, and we should be inspiring. So, yeah, I told you about some of my reasons, but the thing is that it is not why you apply, it is just something what you see when you analyze yourself. But the thing why you apply is just some emotional thing. You just have some feeling that you have to do it. And what I found is that my decision to apply for board is, this step is probably something what I wanted to do in my life the most. So I would like to tell you a little bit about my beliefs and concerns about field of education in ESTIEM. I believe that learning experience which we get by being an ESTIEmer can be hardly acquired in our universities, so you don't get this knowledge in your university. But at the same time, when you think about it, we don't have really big amount of participants applying for academic events, which are the most intensive learning events. And universities, many of them just don't know that we do our events, and they don't know how good they are. So the other thing is that we have several academic partners. Field of education, by the way, is quite new. We already have several academic partners, and they're all open for new ways of collaboration. We are developing them a lot, but yet average ESTIEmer doesn't see where it goes, because not many things were already done in practice on a ESTIEM event. So if you are just one ESTIEmer from some local group, you don't see where it's going yet, and I want to show it already. For example, it was the first time when we had webinar during the event in Porto, and this was like the real application of it. And I want to have more of these things. I think that ESTIEM is ready for it, and our partnership are developed enough. So what I would like to achieve, I have 5 areas here. I will elaborate on a couple of them. So just to list them, I want to strengthen the academic network of ESTIEM. I would like to encourage participation in different conferences of ESTIEMers. I want to educate them to be able to represent ESTIEM during different conferences, because networking is very important, and we can get a lot of new partnerships and get more benefits for ESTIEM. Then I believe that sharing outcomes of academic events is very important, because when you're not able to attend the event, but you're really interested in what happened there, you will be just able to see what happened there maximally. Then we have new IEM education initiative, which just came up very recently, and we believe that ESTIEM can influence a lot on the development of IEM education. So I want to work on it further, and they plan to have first event in the summer, and I would greatly support this. Other than that, we have newsletter about events, but I think we are lacking educational part in it. I think we could have academic newsletter as well for ESTIEMers who would want to get it, or we will just investigate who would like to get it, or maybe every local group will get it, we'll see. And we can also use it as a communication tool with our academic partners and professors and so on. So, just to elaborate a little bit. So, yeah, you can read it. And I want to share one thing with you. I wanted to do something funny on the stage, so this is it. I want to do some magic with you. So I want us to do something all together. Could you please stand up, but still be quiet? So these are some Russian words. Some people are already able to pronounce them well, but others will have to learn. So this is a bit about learning. So just remember how I say, then I will give you a chance to say them. So it goes like раз, два, три, ёлочка, гори. And there is a Christmas tree. So can you try for your first time? Раз, два, три, ёлочка, гори. Awesome. So now we need to do it in such a nice way that the tree will really be lightened up. So you know it's like in the kindergarten. So let's do it all together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Раз, два, три, ёлочка, гори. That's not a spirit, I suppose. I was expecting from you. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Раз, два, три, ёлочка, гори. Woohoo! I believe that if we all will be concentrating on the same goals, we will achieve real magic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michal. And next up, we have Felix.
Good morning, dear Council. Today, I have the honor to stand in front of you and present my application for the position of the Vice President of Education 2015. About the agenda of my presentation, I first will talk about myself, my experience, my growth within ESTIEM also. And then I will talk a lot about my goals and why you should elect me. So, who am I? So, that's me. Felix Lümper, 22 years old, member of LG Paderborn. I did my Erasmus last year in Rappenranta. I love traveling, reading, and also playing football. And I like to sing ESTIEM songs. So, experience and growth. Where did it start? I'm in ESTIEM since May, approximately 2012. And I went on 3 ESTIEM events within 1 month in the end of 2012. The first one was the Vision in Hamburg that time. And there I had to present some group work at a company in front of 35 people. And I was not confident about my English skills at all. I didn't speak English for 1.5 years, and it was really embarrassing for me. But then on the way back to the hostel, I talked with a Turkish friend, Burak, and he told me, man, it's your first ESTIEM event. On the second, it will be 100% better, and on the third, you won't even care if you speak German or English. So ESTIEM really makes you grow and makes you improve your skills, especially in English, which is really important these days. Since then, I attended more than 20 ESTIEM events. I went to 5 coordination meetings, 5 council meetings. I'm active on Central ESTIEM since 2012, and I'm part of the first version of the Growing Together mentoring program. Then, on local level, I was board member of the board of LG Paderborn in 2012-2013. Right before I was elected, we had a call of exclusion, and you see what happened. Now we have 6 people on the council meeting. Currently, I'm the president of the local IEM association, which counts like 1,000 members, so I also have a lot of leadership experience on local level. For the central level, I'm the founder of the Summer Entrepreneurship Training. It's this one training, 3 weeks long, happening in 3 different countries. If you want to read more about it or know more about it, go in the magazine, read on page 42, the answer to everything in life. And just read about it. Furthermore, for the last 6 months, I was the Business Booster project leader. This all together counts up to 1.5 years of leadership experience. But what did I get out of this? So, I have abilities and skills in creating high-quality academic programs. I was cooperating with professors and also with companies in order to improve the academic content of our events in Business Booster. I have experience in involving alumni in mentoring, experience exchange, and workshops. I think the alumni network of ESTIEM is really valuable for us, and we should cooperate much more. And I know how to work with multiple teams. So, challenge yourself. This is what ESTIEM is about, right? So, comfort zone, step out of it. Go beyond the borders, just do it. So, I did this, as you saw, a lot of the last 2 years, and now I do it again. I apply for the position of the Vice President of Education, and I want to grow further, and by doing this, I also want to improve this organization, so my motivation. I am passionate about the organization. I am ambitious to improve the academic content and also the academic benefit that we as a network have. I'm willing to give back to the organization because, as you saw, I did a lot here, I got a lot out of it, and I want to ensure the continuity of the work in ESTIEM. So, to my goals. These are my goals. So this is basically exactly what they said 3 years ago or 4 years ago when this position was introduced to ESTIEM. But what's behind that? So why didn't we achieve accreditation before? What's different now? Why do I think I can achieve it now? So by developing the academic content or by developing the academic content, we can also get accreditation. But how do we do this? We need strong, really strong relations to the external parties. So universities, professors, talking about APM, IIM. And also what changed is we have a new initiative in ESTIEM, the IEM Education Initiative, which is a great chance with a Master Thesis Award that will come up in March and with the Education Forum in summer. I want to boost this to let it grow really fast, and with this all, as a long-term goal, we can reach accreditation for sure. So, about the benefits of our cooperations with partners. So, we can get professional online courses and workshops out of it. We did this already in Business Booster and it worked quite well. Then other non-financial support such as accommodation, food, also rooms and working space, and sufficient fundraising. We can merge the area of fundraising and education to benefit in 2 different ways, because you all would agree that ESTIEM could use some more money. So, goals with the board. I think that the foundation for a successful organization is transparency. So I want to improve it through, for example, bringing back the video updates that Board 2013 had. Then I want to have a professional organization. I want to have a professional image. 1 year ago, approximately, I met an alumnus in Helsinki with him about the problems, how to recruit members in our local group, that the fun approach doesn't work. And then he told me, just do it professional, then it will work, you will gain a lot of more members. We did this, we grew really fast, and yeah, this is a way how to get the organization more active and also have more applicants for positions. Because you see that on some positions we don't have a choice really, we have 1 applicant, but wouldn't it be great to compete? Also if you get elected without competition, it's not that motivating as you winning against someone else in an election. Then I want to achieve a strong CR, so strong corporate relations, and also through this, strong fundraising. This can go with the professionalism and the activeness and hand in hand. Above all this, I see the team spirit in the board as a really important thing. I talked with a lot of old bodies, and they all told me, man, you have to have a really good team, you have to help each other, you have to support each other. So I think this is important, and I'm a team player, I can tell you. So I would really be beneficial to achieve this. So, to wrap it up just really quickly, why should you elect me? Well, I am competent, I am motivated, dedicated, I have ideas, and I have the spirit. So, vote for this guy, and for sure next year will be a really huge success. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Felix. Is anybody else willing to apply for Vice President of Education? Nope. Then I would ask Michael to join Felix on the stage, and we again take questions. This time I can only take 6. And hands up, everybody who has a question. Let's take one from Bremen first, and then I will tell you the rest. Keep your hands up, please, if you have a question.
Hello, Joshua, Local Group Bremen. Thank you first for your both presentations. I have a question to Felix. You were talking about that you want to achieve a stronger CR. How do you want to do that?
Well, as I mentioned, we can have online courses and online workshops. We did this already in Business Booster and SET, and we are also implementing it now in the competition, so I have experience in this. This works, and you can gain money out of this. So basically with this, and yeah, also with other educational partners, perhaps also in America, we also had that in SET. So with this you can have universities to give you financial support, and you give participation in events back.
Thanks a lot. Next up, we take the question from Aliona from the back, and then Jelle is next, and then we take Javi, and then one from Eindhoven. You get to decide yourselves. Please stand up if you have a voice.
Aliona, St. Petersburg. I have a question to Felix. I know that you wanted to apply for some other positions in the board. So are you really enthusiastic about this one position, or do you just want to be in the board?
Thanks for this question. Well, I was thinking through my whole ESTIEM career about many positions in the board. So there was not just one other position that I had in mind, but through the experience with SET, I got really passionate about the educational part and the professional part in this network, and I also saw how you can merge this part with the fundraising part. And at the strategic discussion about the ESTIEM strategy in the comms, there was always mentioned that we need fundraising. And then I said, okay, I like to shape things. I shaped SET to what it is now, and I like to get some ideas and shape something. So I actually thought that this position is the most interesting for me.
Thank you. So Jelle, and then Javi, and then one of the Eindhoven guys, and then the last one from live stream. Please stand up if I said your name, because the organizers don't know the names. Please stand up if your name has been said.
Jelle, Groningen. Yeah, I was curious. First of all, thanks for the application. Really nice. Yeah, I was curious, how do you see the collaboration with the IEM Education Initiative? What should the VP of Education do, and what should be under the flag of or responsibility of the initiative?
Thanks for the question. So basically, it's also up to you, because you will be the leader. I think if I'm elected, then we should sit together, talk about it. I can also visit you, it's not that far. So it should be discussed together with the leader, but I'm willing to give a lot of freedom, but also I'm willing to be really supportive. So whatever you need, Jelle.
Thank you, Michael.
Was it for both of us, right? Yeah. What I would do with IEM Education Initiative, I see that it's already growing and there are 2 directions right now. And I think that we can see more opportunities apart from growing these 2 directions. and perhaps at some point it will somehow enter the structure of ESTIEM, not as an initiative, but as something different. And we also see the experience of BEST in education events, and I think that we can reach a lot with it. Yeah. Thank you for your question, by the way.
Thank you. So then, apparently it's Tom from Eindhoven.
Tom, Eindhoven. This very relevant question to the VP of both VPs, both applicants of VP of Education. We have some member local groups who are not really studying industrial engineering. What is your vision on having local groups who are not studying industrial engineering in a network for industrial engineers?
Well, I don't see it as a problem, but I mean, we're not accepting other local groups which are not industrial engineering, and it's really good, but we cannot kick out all local groups because it doesn't make sense, you know. So basically we cannot change it, but by having them in ESTIEM, I believe that we can give them part of IEM education by being an ESTIEMer. So this is an opportunity.
Yeah, so basically almost the same. I see ESTIEM as a network where you can improve the IEM skills. So now we have some members who don't have the studies at their universities. It's really hard. It would be really hard to kick them out, I think. But of course, we should keep an eye on this when we recruit new members. And yeah, just look on the curriculum when they apply and be more careful, perhaps.
Thank you. So Javi, and then live stream, and that's it. Please keep it short.
Hi, Javi from Local Group Madrid. Thanks, Guy, for the presentation. I'm sorry. I was wondering about your future plans regarding your studies. What are you guys planning for next year?
So I'm in the really lucky situation that I already chose my courses for next year, and I can cancel them, and there would not be any influence on my studies. So if I'm elected, I will cancel all my courses and be there 1 year for ESTIEM. That's what I meant with dedication. So I would spend my whole life on ESTIEM for 1 year. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I'm actually also lucky with my situation with studies because next half a year is my final year with my studies. So I don't have classes, I'm just supposed to be writing thesis.
Thank you. So the live stream question, a short one, and then we have to move on. So here in the front.
Question from Geoffrey, Local Group Board 2010. Can you elaborate more on how you will develop IEM as a study using your position? You mentioned a summer event plus IEM education initiative. Both of you.
Can you repeat it, please?
How will you develop IEM as a study using your position?
Okay, so we have IEM Education Initiative, and it is about bringing people from different education backgrounds in IEM and discussing how to develop education, and then sharing it with broader public and policy makers and different organizations, which can really influence education and improve it. So I think this is the bigger impact we can have right now.
Yeah, I would say share the knowledge that we gain through events. So knowledge sharing is really important, but really have a high influence in this sector, I think is something that I see in the next few years, not in the next upcoming year. So we can only lay the foundation for this, and we should also focus on what's going on now and be realistic and focus first to lay the foundation for this. Yes.
Thanks a lot for the questions. Thanks for the great applicants. Now to the camera, I would like to remind the viewers of the live stream that we have a discussion session at 6 this evening. So please join us then as well with your questions. Now we move on to the position of VP of Finance, and Stefan, please.
Dear Council, there is one proverb which says, if your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough. Let me tell you something. Going back 11 years ago around, when I was still a kid, I had a dream to represent my country at something called Junior Eurovision Song Contest. Can you please raise your hands if you have ever heard about this contest? Awesome. Well, you know, as a kid, that was my dream, and I was going in bed every night dreaming about it. And waking up every morning with only one thought: how to make it. But I must be honest with you and tell you that a lot of people told me that my dream is completely impossible and that I can't make it, including my parents as well. So then as a kid I realized that life is hard and we really have to fight for our own dreams. Did I make it at the end? I did it. But most important is how. With dreaming, without giving up, and the most important, hard but hard-working. Dear friends, my name is Stefan, and it's a real privilege for me today to stand in front of you, giving you this application for the next Vice President of Finance in the ESTIEM Board of 2015. The agenda of my presentation will look like this. First, several words about me. Then, I will talk about my ESTIEM experience and involvement so far, and after it, I will show you my goals and motivation for the next year. At the end, of course, you will have the opportunity to ask me some questions, and I will try to answer them on the best possible way. So let's start. I'm 23 years old from the local group of Skopje. Recently, I have finished my bachelor thesis, and now I'm in a process of starting my master thesis, from which I'm planning to take a year break and completely dedicate my time to ESTIEM. I'm a touristic young boy, always ready for new challenges, and I'm a loyal friend. And, of course, addicted to ESTIEM and traveling around Europe since 2011. In the past 3 years, I have attended at around 15 ESTIEM events where I learned a lot of things, I met a lot of people, and I had the opportunity to really feel the unique ESTIEM spirit. But my real ESTIEM journey starts 2 years ago when I became active on both levels, local and central. On local level, I started out as local responsible in my local group, and a year later, I was elected as a president. During that time, LG Skopje organized the biggest events in its history and merged as an awesome team with great foundation for the future, which was really important. On central level, I started out as regional coordinator of the Balkan region, and after that I became active in several committees and projects within ESTIEM, leading several task groups and working closely with the past 2 boards of ESTIEM. Because I was pretty much active also on local level, every event that took part in Skopje, I was part of the organizational team, and I started with various local events via Balkan recomps, coordination meetings, and being directly responsible during the last year, during my presidency for Europe 3D Macedonia Vision Final Conference, and the biggest exchange that we had in the history of ESTIEM with 26 participants from only one local group. So, I can proudly say that my biggest achievement so far is the progress of my local group from the 47th position, where we were before I was elected to president, to the 11th position of the activity ranking in ESTIEM, which is a great acknowledge for me and the rest of my local group. When I finished my presidency this May, I wanted to go a step further and to get some more cultural experience, and that's why I did my summer internship this summer in Ankara, Turkey, where I spent 2 months. But my real finance background came from being finance intern 2 years in a row in ProCredit Bank Macedonia in Skopje, where I learned a lot of things about money, about finance, about budgeting, which can be really useful for me during the upcoming year. Also, I was pretty much active in the Financial and Legal Committee and Grants Committee, thus I have a great overview of the current financial situation in ESTIEM. So, talking about finances, first, my finance-oriented goals for the upcoming year. Sustainable budget, which will allow a greater support to leaders and active ESTIEMers. I would like to start the next year with joint coordination meeting between Financial and Legal Committee, Grants Committee, and Corporate Relations Committee in order to try to allocate all the financial resources for the upcoming year together and try to create the budget on a better way. Also, I would like during the year to try to put some more attention on the events, especially with the organization of the board meetings. Thus, I believe that also if we can try to solve this, and if there is opportunity for that, we can also save some money, which can be also used for the support of leaders and active ESTIEMers. Supporting Grants Committee in finding new ways of getting grants. As you probably know, at the moment we are applying for the Erasmus Plus program, but recently in the Grants Committee we started a project, research project, and we found out that there are much more grantors around Europe ready to give their money to organizations like ESTIEM. I would really like to support this project and make it sustainable and continuous project in order to allocate all the grantors around Europe. How can we as ESTIEM apply for that, and also for which kind of events those grants are appropriate. So I believe that if we achieve this, we can create some better understanding for the public fundings and on that way encourage the local groups to apply for those grants. Best practices and advice to local organizers of creation of budgets for their event. Recently in the Financial and Legal Committee, we started to checking out the budgets for the events that we have on the ESTIEM, the upcoming events that we have, in order to see how they are structured and how the money are spent. I think that this project has really big potential, and here I would also like to support it and make it sustainable and continuous project, so during the next year we can check all the budgets for all the events in advance, trying to give advices to the local organizers, how can they cut some costs, how can they create the budget on a better way. So on that way we can also create some best practice document where we can put all the tips and tricks, all the comments, all the suggestions that we are giving to the local organizers, so we can somehow be sure that the future generations of ESTIEM will have some better understanding about how one budget should be created, and that also that can allow for a lower participation fee. About board-oriented goals, improving the communication and transparency between ESTIEM and the local groups. I would like to see Meet the Board online happening more frequently. Thus, I believe that is a great way to communicate with you, with the active ESTIEMers, and also to hear your feedback and about the work of the board. And also on that way, if we do this during the next year, we can also improve our transparency even more. Also, I would like to start something like Meet the Local Group online, where all the interested people, all the ESTIEMers can have opportunity to visit the local group during their weekly meetings online, can see what their future plans, what they're planning, if they need some help, etc. Mentoring system for new local groups. This idea came from my involvement in the members committee. Basically, the idea is when you have a guest group in one strong local group from that region, and try to encourage that local group to help to the guest group. With help, I mean sharing experience, sharing best practices, and sharing some advices, and also organizing a joint event together. Why? Because on that way, the guest group can see from first hand how one ESTIEM event should look like and how one ESTIEM event should be organized. So next time when the guest group will organize event on their own, they will already have some knowledge and already have some experience. And more effective and more efficient council meetings. Some of the applicants already mentioned this. I already also have some ideas how we can improve this. During the leaders workshop, we were discussing this, and I believe that if elected next year, I would like to have some more open discussions with you to get some feedback about my ideas, and I really think that the next year we can finally make some improvement about this. At the end, my friends, I would like to finish my presentation as I started. This behind me is my life motto, and says, if you really want something, you work hard, take advantage of opportunities, and never, but never give up. You will find your way. So my friends, I found my way, and that's why today I'm here, standing in front of you, giving you this application for the next Vice President of Finance in the ESTIEM Board of 2015. Thank you very much for your attention, and now I'm ready for your questions.
Thank you a lot, Stefan. Do we have anybody else willing to apply for the position of the Vice President of Finance? Nobody? Then, as you can see, we're already past 10:30, so it's coffee break time, but we will take questions now and cut it from the coffee break. I hope everybody is okay with that, and yeah, because this is really important. So, arms up if you have questions. We will take again 6. Okay, let's start. Where's the microphone? Let's start from Hardy, and then go back to Bart.
Hi, Stefan. Thank you for the great presentation. Hardy from Lappeenranta. As you were mentioning your goals, I saw them. I felt that they might be out of your responsibilities. For example, making CMs more efficient, especially the second page of your goals. Do you feel like, can you do that? Because I feel it's out of your responsibilities and maybe it's tough for you.
Much for your question. I have talked with a lot of previous bodies and a lot of previous VP of finances, and they told me that being VP of finance is one part of your job as body. The other part is doing the operational task and have some ideas how can you improve how can we improve ESTIEM as a team, as the whole board. So that's my board-oriented goals for which I will try to speak with the bodies, and we will for sure agree for something or not, but I would like to work on them besides of the finance-oriented goals.
Yeah, sorry. So Bart will take the next one. Then we have one from the corner, one of the two arms up, and then we have Marcia, and then live stream.
Yeah, thanks for the awesome presentation. I have a question. How will you find a way that the members of ESTIEM can have a bigger voice in how money is being, how the budget is created?
As I already mentioned in my application, I would really like to start the next year with joint coordination meeting between 3 committees. So on that way we can try all together to allocate the finance resources for the upcoming year, and on that way together with those 3 committees, because I believe that they are the main allocators and main supporters of ESTIEM budget. So I think that on that way I would already improve how can ESTIEMers contribute to the ESTIEM budget. Budget will create it, I would, as I mentioned in the board goals, meet the board online. All the ESTIEMers will have opportunity to ask me the questions about the budget and of what we're going to spend the money in the upcoming year.
Thank you. So then from the back right, I think there were 2 arms up. I cannot see who it is, but take one of these. And then we will, yeah, like I said, Marcia, and then live stream. And please stand up if you have the voice so that the microphone girl knows where to come.
Bishra from IEM Alumni to you. Thanks so much for the presentation. Since the matter is money, 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 I just want to ask you, we have a problem with CRC, as you know, and how are you planning to activate CRC? Do you have any strategic plan for this?
Thank you very much for your question. Yeah, as you mentioned, at the moment we have some problem with the Corporate Relations Committee and with the motivation about that, but I will try after elected together. I don't know, I don't want to speak now if I will be responsible for that committee or someone else, but I will for sure try to find some people that will like to work, and that way we can increase the motivation, and if we have the motivation, I think that we can have other improvement within that committee.
Thank you.
Hi, Group Porto. So I'm sorry for bringing this issue again, but I think it's a big issue of ESTIEM. So as you know, currently the boards are being reimbursed for the comms and the leaders are not. So I want you to explain what is your opinion about this, and do you think this means that the boards are more important than the leaders at the comms?
Thank you very much, Marcia. Some of you already know that 1 year ago I was considering to apply for members committee leader, and despite the fact that a lot of people encouraged me to do that, I decided to not do that because I was really disappointed because the leaders did not get any support. So I think that I answered your question. I was really demotivated then when I realized that the leaders do not have anything. So I can assure you that I will really try hard to work with the CRC, with the grants committee and the FLC in order to support the leaders more during the upcoming year. And I already have some calculations, and I already know approximately how much money we need about that, so that will be one of my main goals.
Thank you, and we take one quick question from the live stream and then move to the coffee break.
Max from Hamburg. Dear Stefan, thanks for your awesome presentation. I would like to know, how do you want to lower participation fees of ESTIEM events, and what could be concrete actions?
As already mentioned, within the Financial and Legal Committee, we started a project where we are checking the budgets in advance. So far we've found that some local groups do do not really have a knowledge how the budget can be structured. So on that way, we are giving some comments and tips and tricks, how can they cut their costs. So if you go a step further, if they cut some costs, which we really think that are not so necessary, then they will realize that they do not need so much budget for that event, and on that way they can also cut the participation, or smaller the participation fee.
Thank you a lot for the questions. Thanks for your presentation, Stefan. Now, before the coffee break, we have some announcements. So we start with Sorana.
Okay. So as you have read probably your emails on what you're expected to bring and take from this council meeting, you're expected to take the magazines back to your local group. So starting this coffee break, you can already go to the local group office and get the bag with the magazines. You also have some stickers and a lot of things. And a motivation insight for the local groups that come first. They will also get free wristbands in case those of you are interested in getting a STEAM wristbands that look like this. And this is the first announcement. And please I'm going to be there and make a sign when you take your bag, so I know which local group took their bags. Second announcement is we at least attempted to have a group photo yesterday, which failed a little bit. So we're going to try to do it again. Let's hope the weather is in favor. Look, according to the forecast, it was supposed to rain, so we're going to try to do it before lunch. So don't go directly to lunch. Wait in front of the building. So we're going to attempt to do a group photo again.
Thank you. Then Kata has an announcement, and Sergei, could you come to the front as well?
Yeah, about the lost and found, that like the things that you lost during the international night, you can also pick them up at the office. Like before you go down to the photo, please go there and ask for your stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, Kata. And then Sergei has a short announcement.
Guys, I would like to say that Times pins arrived, so you can see it here. If you would like to have this nice pin, you can buy it during the coffee break. Yeah, and we have it thanks to Quorum. Quorum, could you? Yeah. The price is €3.
Thank you, Sergei. So now we won't close the point. We will continue with the applications after the coffee break. We will have a coffee break until 10 past. Please be on time. Please stay seated. Please be on time and be quick through the coffee room so that everybody gets their coffee or tea or what they want to drink, and be back at 10 past.
Mute the live stream.